COVID-19 has changed the globe, how people live, work and interact. Even now, funerals are being strictly regulated. Funeral services may well not be able to cope with the sheer volume of deceased victims. The demand for burial space can very likely outstrip supply. Cities are preparing for the worst.
Municipality, we do have land, but we are not yet there where we will have mass funerals. Then when we get there, we will organize and make sure that we separate those sections to bury our people.
The Nelson Mandela Metro has 11 cemeteries, but even there, space is a premium. The SA Cemeteries Association says a rapid increase in deaths will place the cremation sector under tremendous pressure. Cremation is recommended for COVID-19 fatalities.
Also advised that if a municipality was experiencing really large numbers of death, that there were alternative methods for digging graves, given the fact that resources may be strained as a result of lockdown and staff being allowed to come out to work. So we also propose the use of digging mass graves. We've put out a plan what this can look like, and which would prevent the need for digging so many individual graves, but basically presenting one large grave in the form of a trench, which is properly marked, that will allow bodies to be placed in, or coffins to be placed in within this grave, and the recording and the details of the deceased properly recorded, so that later on, when families wanted to access their grave, there'll be no problems in terms of identifying the grave of their loved one.
Mass burials will be new and unpalatable to many.
The government is doing this to prevent the spread of the virus. It is also helping the members of the family to save money too, as all these foreign intruders forcing the families to spend money in these big numbers, in expensive coffins, in all these other things that are even done prior to the funeral, like ukuxhonywa kwebhatyi. That is another mini funeral. All those things that are banned, I so wish the indigenous people could keep them so that our funerals go back to the dignified ways.
The issue is also a hot talking point.
You feel a lot of the white majority of the people do go for cremation, with a small memorial service that are happening. And if it comes to not being able to do that, and it's a mass graves, then unfortunately it's one of those things that we have to go for. It is what is going to happen.
Families should be given a chance to bury their loved ones, their family members, where they wish to, if they have the space, but implement the regulation proposed by our government, because it is not new to Africans to have a very small funeral, private thing, not the show that we see these days where funerals are packed, but a small intimate space for the families. So it is not foreign that we can have 50 people attending the funeral.
The South African Cemetery Association proposed that funerals are conducted during the week to prevent mass gatherings due to multiple weekend ceremonies. Lerato Fekisi, SABC News, Port Elizabeth.